and welcome to the Lyons Den. I'm your host, Maria Lyons. And today, January 20th, 2017, is one of the biggest days of American history when we switch from one chain of command to another. Now, I would like to take a moment and express my sincere gratitude to former President Obama and his family for the past 8 years of service to our country. Your legacy truly will live on. I'd also like to say congratulations to President Trump and his family as they step into a new legacy and adventure. And now I know that some of you may not appreciate today and what it means, but I want to ask you to give this day a chance. You see, I wasn't happy either 8 years ago when former President Obama took office, but I didn't protest and I didn't bash him with hateful words or post hate messages on social media. But instead, I accepted that it was God's will and that President Obama was chosen to govern our country 8 years ago. And as a believer, I was going to pray for him and support him, which I did wholeheartedly. And I believe that a lot of good has come from his presidency over those past 8 years. Now, we are entering a new era of change. And let's face it, our country isn't the American dream we have all wanted. I mean, we worry about our children's safety. We worry about our jobs. We worry about our bills. We worry about our health. We worry, right? Now I know that in President Trump's speech, he said that he was going to give the government back to the people and that he wanted to see us thrive, live a life of prosperity with no fear, have the jobs we want, in great communities without worrying of violent crimes and drugs. Now, can he really do that? Can he really help in those areas? Well, here's my story and my first encounter with President Trump, which left a very profound impact on my life in a very positive way. Now listen, take a chill pill if you're one of the ones out there who's having a bad day today. But I do hope that my story will give you a basis to open your mind and open your heart to support our current president. You see, back in 2010, I hired a professional makeup artist to do my hair and my makeup. Because you see, I was going to be meeting a billionaire. And I couldn't help but be just a little bit nervous. Okay, well, maybe I was a lot nervous. Okay, well, I had some vodka to calm me down. All right, well, maybe I had a lot of vodka to calm me down. But anyway, back to the story. I remember this day like it was yesterday. Me and a close group of friends getting ready to meet Mr. Trump in a private setting to have pictures made just before he spoke on stage. We were all ecstatic. I mean, we were completely out of our minds. Our time had come, and they opened the door, and this giant of a man approached, and he reached out to shake my hand, and it was him. Oh my God, it was Donald J. Trump. I was so starstruck. And of course, I mean, I'd read a few of his books, I'd seen his TV show, and I'd loved his words of wisdom and strong philosophy in business. But this giant of a man, with his hand in my hand, was gentle with his handshake. And he looked me in the eyes and he said, "It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing today?" And he waited, which struck me as very odd because he waited for me to reply. I mean, it wasn't a greeting and then on to the next person like a lot of us do when we are in a crowd. You know, we tend to ask people, "How are you doing?" without really caring to hear a reply. I mean, a lot of my friends were, of course, waiting to say hi, and so were patiently waiting in line behind me. But he truly cared about how I was doing, and he waited for my reply before thanking me for coming and being a part of this project. And then he turned to the camera and flash. This was created. That's me with Donald J. Trump. Doesn't my makeup and hair look wonderful? Yeah, I was so excited about that too. Anyway, I want you to really, really focus here now, okay? Because this story is extremely important. Because it saved my life. Here's what I want you to understand. Later that night, on stage, Trump talked about the state of our government and how things needed to change. He talked about ideas and plans and how Americans should be proud. And he said this one statement that stuck with me all these years. He said, "Never give up." That's it. That simple statement. He said, never give up. He said, have the staying power to succeed. And it hit home for me because it was at a time in my life that I was struggling, financially speaking. You see, my husband and I had put everything on the line to be at this event. Do you remember what happened in 2009 and 2010? Well, it was the housing market crash where a lot of people lost their homes in foreclosures, mostly wrongful foreclosures. Well, I was one of those people. It was the hardest time of my life. I remember losing weight not because I was on a diet, but because I was giving up food so my children could eat. I slept most of my days away because I was so depressed. I remember fantasizing about my own death. You see, I was giving up. I was quitting on life. Until that one moment in the front row, I heard the echoing words of Mr. Trump say, "Never give up." Now, I'd like to say that it was all peaches and cream after that, and I snapped right out of it right away. But, truth be told, I didn't. Not right away. But every time I wanted to end, those simple words would echo in my mind, never give up. You see, it was a long road for me from 2010 to today. But before you judge and call it quits on our country, you might want to remember my story and the hope that President Trump gave me with a gentle handshake, words of caring, and some very strong advice. You see, he pulled me back from the edge and he gave me hope. I believe that he can do that for all of us in America today. So give him a chance. I'm sure he doesn't know the impact that he had on my life, but you now know just a fraction of my story. And I encourage you to never give up on your dreams. This is Maria Lyons asking you to believe in yourself and be passionate about what you believe in. Go out and be the reason someone smiles today.